For being a roofer, a lot of roofers are, incredibly smart, hardworking people. They're very good at what they do. The barriers to entry are non-existent.
A lot of us don't anymore. We just get our news off the social media and all those. I have with me today, welcome everyone back to the Premium Perspective. We have Nick Riley with Driftwood Building.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Nick Riley, owner of Driftwood Builders Roofing. We've been in Austin for over 20 years now, served over 3,600 happy customers. And I'm very, very happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I wanted to get started, just kind of like your background and what led you to like where you are today. And so my first question is just kind of getting to know you and who you are and who Nick Riley is outside of just the roofing company, and if you're like your background on how you were born here in Austin and just that story.
Awesome. Great question. So I was born in New Jersey, and then my parents moved to Montana when I was 1.5.
Okay.
So I grew up in Montana. I'm the second oldest of 5 siblings. We grew up on a ranch with 50 acres. So very much, a country boy from Montana.
Oh, yeah.
And so my dad owned a landscaping and construction company in Whitefish, Montana.
Okay.
And ever since I was 8 years old, I worked with him, 6 days a week, which taught me the value of hard work and, definitely built some character. And so my dad owned a landscape construction company in Whitefish, and then my uncle owned a masonry business.
Okay.
And so in the summers, I do landscaping for my dad, and in the winters, I do masonry for my uncle. But it was, a great experience, learned the value of hard work, and, and got me really, really interested in home services.
Yeah, wow, that's really interesting. How was that experience, like working with your dad and your uncle?
Good. It was great. Like, they definitely taught me the value of hard work. Like, they would always joke around and, have fun. Like, they work very hard, but, they always have fun on the job.
That's good.
And so, they, taught me how to treat people right, do high-quality work. And, it was super, super fun. And, for this business I have 2 younger brothers who are 21 and 19, and definitely one of my goals is to bring them on, to have them work in the business with me, because I love working with family members.
Yeah, absolutely. I love a family-owned business.
Yeah, definitely.
So how old are you, and when did you get started in your own business?
Yeah, great question. So I'm 31 years old. So I graduated from Montana in 2017 with 2 degrees, one in management information systems, one in accounting, and also a licensed CPA. So working for my dad and uncle since I was 8, taught me the value of hard work, but also very, very much motivated me to get really good grades so I could get a good white collar job. And so I worked for Deloitte and KPMG doing strategy consulting for 9 years.
Wow, okay.
And I learned a lot from them, worked with really smart people, worked on some awesome clients. But after a while, I very quickly found out corporate America is not for me.
Yeah.
I truly, truly love business, and I truly love small business. And to be honest, being in corporate America, I do a lot of PowerPoint slide decks, a lot of BS, kind of made me fall out of love with business. And so I found out about this thing called entrepreneurship through acquisition, which is you buy an existing business. And I found out about it 4 years ago. And I thought this was super interesting, this is going to be my path. But at that time, I didn't have enough capital to buy anything worth leaving Deloitte for. So for 3 years, I just read a bunch of books. I listened to every single episode of this podcast called the Acquiring Minds podcast. And I joined this awesome happy hour in Austin, the Acquire and Invest happy hour that meets once a month. I'm actually meeting tonight, so I'll go there.
Okay, nice.
But and so for 3 hours, I just learned about, buying existing businesses, and then, for 3 years. And then last year, I started my search, looked at probably 2,000 different businesses, and I found this amazing roofing company and closed on it about 3 months ago.
Oh, wow. So this is still very fresh.
Yes, ma'am. Very,
okay,
very fresh.
Wow. Really quick, with that podcast that you were talking about, and the group of people that you're meeting tonight, is this just a group of listeners that they all listen to this podcast and they meet up? What is that?
Yeah, great question. So the podcast is about buying existing businesses, and the happy hour is just different local Austin searchers. So it's a bunch of people in Austin, who are really interested in buying existing businesses.
Okay,
and so we meet once a month and talk about what deals we've done and what companies we're looking at and how we can help each other out. And so it's a great crew. Yeah.
How did you find this group?
I think just on Twitter.
Yeah? Wow. Okay, that's so interesting. Did you look up something specific or?
Yeah. I was going on Twitter about, buying small companies in Austin. And then, I saw a guy, and then he invited me to his happy hour. And then it turns out, that was a happy hour.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Small world.
Yeah, such a small world. So that's how you got into the connection of roofing. Is roofing something that you have a passion for? When you were looking for a business to purchase, what were you looking for specifically? Like, did you care about one? Did you want to buy a particular one, or were you just like, I don't care, like I'm gonna get anything?
No, I was really looking for a home services business. You know, like, since I've been doing that since I was 8, and that's what my dad and uncle did. I was really looking for a home service business specifically.
Gotcha.
And then I came along this great roofing company. I met the owner. He's a really honest, nice, down to earth person, and so I really hit it off with him. And then I was like, this is the company I'm gonna buy.
Wow. Okay, that's really cool. I didn't even know you could do this.
Yeah.
So how did you find out about this and like the opportunity to purchase like a company like that?
Oh, I guess so just like talking with people, and talking to other people and just, seeing like what they're doing and like kind of what their career goals are and like what they like to do for fun, and just getting to know a lot of people, and then, I kind of heard it from them.
Yeah. So connections.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they say. That's like the best way to get a job, do anything. Networking. Exactly. That's awesome. All right. So with the Driftwood Builders Roofing, so was that the name that it was already named that, or were you able to like revamp this entire business and make it your own and change the name and all of that stuff, or how does that work?
Yeah, great question. So that's the existing name. The old owner, Todd Munziger, was a builder, phenomenal builder, and that was, the original name of his company, because he was in Driftwood and he was building, building houses out there. And then he made the decision, to start a roofing company, and so he called it Driftwood Builders Roofing. And so it's a great name, great brand, and so we're definitely going to keep that. Todd is a 6-year-old, and I'm 31, so obviously, my technology, it's a lot more up to date. So we're going to obviously make some tech enhancements, and some process improvement stuff and things like that. But the name and the brand is definitely going to stay for sure.
Okay, nice. And is he like someone that stays? Like he's not fully out of the company. It's like he's still involved.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's staying as my conciliary. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Nice. But the original plan was for me to buy this, and then he was going to stay at least 6 months. But so it looks like he's going to stay for probably 2 to 3 more years.
Oh wow.
And,
okay.
Yeah, he's been super helpful, giving me advice, been teaching me a lot. No one knows more about roofing than Todd, so he's been a phenomenal resource for me.
Yeah. How has that been, like, just working together, both of y'all? Like, someone that's so much older than you, and then you has, like, the more, like, technology, and you have, like, the corporate America, like, experience. How is that merging together?
Oh, good. Good, yeah. There's been a lot of funny stories.
Yeah.
So they do all their, like, estimates, like, handwritten on paper.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've just been using Excel for 9 years. so that was, like, a big but funny transition. And then, they're a great crew, very, down to earth, great people. And so, and then I come in, like from Deloitte, and I use words, like value proposition, leverage existing synergies.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, yeah.
You're like, what is he talking about?
Yeah. And so, that's been a funny transition, kind of, clash of old and new. But it's been great, and the team's amazing, and I'm very excited for where we're going.
Yeah, that's so funny. It reminds me of my grandpa, because he had, he sold it now, but he had a asphalt construction company, and he was supposed to sell it, or not sell it, but give it to my uncle, and he ended up passing away, so he didn't have no one to give it to anymore. So he was like, I'm just so old, and like I don't know how to. And he's still someone that like goes and takes like pays his bills like in person. He writes a check and he like drives, and I'm like, you could just do it online. So I think that's so funny.
Awesome. Yeah, so that was kind of so with my dad too. Like he owned this landscaping business for 30 years, and then like when he came to time to retire, like I was in Austin, and everyone else, no one wanted to take it over, so he just closed down the business. And so that was kind of like another reason, that was kind of another like motivation for me to find an older baby boomer and buy the existing business.
Yeah, wow. And how is your dad like? What does he say about you now with this business?
Oh, good. He loves it. Like he's not surprised. But he gives me advice. He always checks in, sees how I'm doing. But he's been great.
And you said you guys, what part of town were y'all from originally?
So we're located in South Austin, kind of the Manchaca area, but we do jobs all across Austin.
Gotcha. Okay, nice. That's good to know. So do you guys, I know like with some roofers, y'all have to like storm chase kind of, right? And stuff like that. How's that?
So there's a lot of storm chases in roofing. We're not one of them. So we're just like there's a lot of different kinds of roofers. But so what essentially like storm chasers would do is like they move into different like locations, and essentially like once there's a big storm, they will drive 12 hours, 20 hours, go to Colorado, go to Louisiana, and they just like get all the storm work and then leave.
Gotcha.
Kind of hit it and quit it, and that's not us. We've been in Austin for the last 20 years, and we'll be here for the next 20 as well.
Okay, nice. That's so cool. And so I wanted to know, and so you said your dad, he and your uncle, y'all were from Montana, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how's that transition been, just like from Montana to Austin, right? Because they're just two completely different worlds.
So it's actually been surprisingly similar. So I grew up in Montana. I lived in San Diego for 4 years after college. And then I knew I wanted to move, and I was thinking probably New York. I heard a lot about Austin in the news, and then randomly my best friend from high school moved to Austin, and I was like, all right, I'll go visit him for a week, but it's probably super overrated, like I'm not gonna like it. And I came here for a week and I absolutely loved it, and I was like, this is my new place. And so but it's funny, so I went to college in Missoula, Montana, go Grizz, and Austin reminds me a lot of a much bigger Missoula.
Really?
It's a blueberry in a red state, a college town, a river runs through it. It's like uncanny, like the resemblance to Missoula, Montana.
Wow.
Obviously, it's a lot warmer.
And humid, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, okay, that's really interesting. I was wondering, like, what about that has similarities, but okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, nice. Well, that's really cool. How has your experience been? So in this last 3 months, like, how has that been just with like customer service and things like that, and the type of clients that you guys have got? How does that feel? Because corporate America, kind of going back to that, and now like being a roofer, it's completely different.
Yeah, definitely.
And so now you're more on a customer service based side than you were when you were at your old job, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so you have in corporate America, like one of our clients, is a big executive for a company, make a lot of money a year, and I kind of have to handle them, do customer service with them. And so now, we have hundreds of different clients, and each one is an individual homeowner, but for a new roof, like our average roof is $25,000, so like we obviously take care of them and do a really good job. But it's a very, very different clientele. But to be honest, I really, really like it more, and I think it has much more meaning. So do 9 years of strategy consulting for Deloitte, like we would make rich companies a lot more money.
Richer,
which like there's nothing wrong with it, but I really love helping homeowners with their home. Like there's so much more meaning for that.
A lot more genuine, because you're like helping someone that is just a family.
Exactly. And like a lot of our clients are like old ladies, so it's really nice to help them, and like like really means something for them.
So now that you're involved with that, how's the advertising and stuff like that going? I'm curious to know, because I'm sure with the ownership changing, you guys, or in the past, it was a lot different. And so are you like utilizing more like social media and like AI and things like that?
Definitely. So we set up like an AI bot to like answer calls, like so when we're too busy, and then we're trying to a bunch of different things, and we're gonna quickly find out what works and what doesn't. But it's been like a great, like we're trying out like a lot of new things, but like we're also like taking like the old stuff that's worked and and trying to copy and paste that and doing more of that, since we already know it works and since we're used to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Make it better. Do y'all use like social media and stuff like that?
Yeah, we do. We have an Instagram. I created a TikTok last week, so it's pretty new.
That's fun.
Facebook, and then I know we have a LinkedIn and Twitter. I need to go and update those. But
Yeah, that's fun to do, like the TikTok and the videos and stuff like that. Do y'all have someone that's there at the like job site doing them for you, or are you the one that's kind of managing everything right now?
I do all of it right now.
Okay, nice.
Not the long-term plan yet.
I was gonna say
I'll have to find someone to do it for me.
It can be very time-consuming. Well, I mean, it's good though, because it's all still fresh. But of course, definitely. Like as time goes by, you have your plans for like having someone manage all those things for you. Definitely. Of course. What are some common misconceptions homeowners have about roofing?
So the truth about roofing is that a lot of roofers are dishonest and like ingenuine. And so like for an example, like I'm a licensed CPA. In order to be a CPA, I just spent go to college for 5 years, spend hundreds of hours studying and taking past 4 separate exams. So the barriers to entry are very high for a CPA. For being a roofer, you know, a lot of roofers are, you know, incredibly smart, hardworking people. They're very good at what they do. But for the roofing industry specifically, the barriers to entry are non-existent. So you could start a roofing company right after this podcast ends, and there's no licenses required either.
Wow. So literally anyone could go do it.
Anyone, like there's no barriers to entry whatsoever. And so kind of like because of that, you know, there's two tiers of roofers. You know, one is like the tier one like us, you know, companies who've been here for the last 20 years and going to be here for the next 20. And the second tier is just a lot of, you know, storm chasers or a lot of, you know, chuck in a truck. And so, I guess what people don't know about roofing is like there's like do your homework, you know, do your research, you know, look, you know, try and do as much research as you possibly can, because like a lot of the chuck and truck roofers, like they also chase storms, like you mentioned before, and so they will go around to different cities, and when you buy a home, it's obviously a huge investment, and you roof, protects that home, and so like, you know, if you get a new roof and then, you know, 5 years later, like you have a question or like need help with your roof, like if you go with a chuck in a truck or like somebody's not good at what they do, like they probably won't be here in 5 years. Yeah. Whether like the established roofing companies like us, like we will. Yeah. And so like with roofing, it's very unique. So because like very few people actually go on top of the roofs to like look at it. Like, you know, like my dad did landscaping, obviously, you know, people can walk around and see the grass, you know, and like see the shrubs and stuff. Or my uncle did masonry, obviously, like you can go and like look at the rock work. And like we go up on the roof and take pictures, but like very, very few customers actually do. Yeah, obviously not. And so like I think like people, like I think like the biggest thing people don't know about roofing is that like there's a huge difference, you know, from like a very qualified experienced roofer to like a regular truck and a truck, and like you won't know that unless you do like your thorough due diligence. So you should like 100% do your thorough due diligence, especially for a big investment like a new roof.
Yeah, I like that term, chuck in a truck.
Yeah, that was not something so that I made up with it. Yeah,
it's a broad
common in the industry.
Okay, nice to know. So when you say like do your due diligence and you know, do your homework and make sure that you know who you're going to get to do your roof, what are some things that you think people should be looking at? Oh yeah,
great question. So the first is like, how long has your roofing company been in business? I'd go look at their Google reviews. I'd go look at more of their review sources. You know, I'd go to their website and see whether or not they have a price estimator and like whether or not they talk about pricing and transparency. Like because, you know, like some people don't talk about price and they try and hide it. That's not us. You know, we explicitly have a separate page on the website to talk about pricing and transparency because, you know, we're very honest and we want the truth to come out. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, just check the website, read the Google reviews, you know, go look them up online, and pretty basic stuff. And then obviously, you know, once you pick a roofer, you know, obviously, you know, grill them, ask them a bunch of questions, you know, see if they know their stuff.
Put them in the hot seat.
Please do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's nice to know because, I mean, I just actually got my roof done 2 years ago. I wish I would have known you then. But
no, in 18 years, maybe we could do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so it was like literally so bad. So I have a duplex that I got for my grandpa. It's been in the family.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
And thank you. And so that the roof though was just like, it was like 25 years old. It was horrible. And so finally, like, it was raining one day and there was a leak. It was just not good. So we had to go get that done. And then it's finally when I started learning a lot more about roofs. And I'm like, wow, people really don't know a lot of these things that they're supposed to know as a homeowner. And so, and after that, now I'm like, okay, I know a lot more about roofs. And the experience is very just like eye-opening.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's always, it's good to like just keep people informed because, again, like a lot of people don't care. They just want the house. They don't care about the maintenance. And so, I mean, those things are just so important. You got to keep up with it. So really quick, what do you have like any, I guess, maintenance tips for people that own a home? Because I mean, it's not like we can go get up on the roof and like make sure everything's okay up there ourselves. But like, is there anything, I guess, that you would recommend like during this time? Or like during the 20 years that I guess could prevent anything, or is there like really nothing we could do?
Like the only preventative thing is to get a high quality roof with Driftwood Builders Roofing.
Okay, that's
yeah,
the best answer.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, like, it's always like better to be safe than sorry. So like if something looks abnormal, like you should probably get it checked, and we offer free inspections there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would say like it's just better to be safe than sorry. Like obviously, like with landscaping, like you have to like water your trees and stuff. And clean off the rocks. Some roofing companies offer like annual roof inspection plans. They go clean your roof and then charge customers. That's not us. We could make more money doing it, but that's just not what our values are.
That's what I actually really appreciate is excuse me, someone that is just like one and done. They're like, hey, exactly. I don't need to keep seeing you because I know I'm that good. Yeah. I actually just saw a physical therapist not too long ago, and she did that. She was like, I had seen 2 in my lifetime, and one was like trying to charge me and have me like keep coming back to see her. And the last lady that I just saw, this was actually like a week ago, she was like, no, like I shouldn't, if I have to see you one more time, that's enough. And so it's like, I know you're good at your job and you're confident. So, I mean, that's how I feel about you guys even. It's just like, hey, I don't need to go back, which is just very rare nowadays with companies because people are very money hungry. But integrity. Let's see. What has been one of the biggest challenges so far since you started this roofing company?
I guess the biggest challenge is kind of doing like multiple things at once. So like at Deloitte, I was like assigned one work stream, and obviously there's a lot of bits and pieces to that work stream. But like you have kind of one job, you're really good at that job. And I love to read books. I try and read a book a week, and the multiple books I've read on being productive have talked about how like multitasking is a myth. Like multitasking is essentially just doing multiple things poorly. And so studies show like, let's just say you're working on task A and then you all of a sudden stop and go work on task B. When you work on task B, you're only at like 65% capacity because the other 35% is still on task A. It's called like attention residue. And so back in like corporate America, like working on one thing at once, like it was very easy to like block off time and just focus on one thing. But now being a new business owner, it's like trying to do 10 things at once.
It's
and then,
challenging.
and then it ends up doing 10 like not the quality that you want, and then so that's been challenging, but also super super fun.
It keeps you busy.
Exactly. It definitely keeps you busy. And just kind of like decide like how I should spend my time, like, and a job, like your boss always says, like do this, and now like owning the business, like there's so many things I can do, but I'm like what should I focus my time on the most? Like what areas will yield the highest like return on investment for my time? So but it's been a ton, but it's been super super fun. I wake up 4 or 5 every day. I'm super excited. And so for the first time in a long time, I'm finally like excited about doing what I do and excited to build and grow something.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that so much. Yeah, of course. Okay, I heard you say really quick that you read a book a week. Wow. Okay, how do you do that?
Well, I used to back in the day in corporate America before I bought this business.
Okay, I was going to say, how do you have time?
I definitely don't anymore. But I grew up like very non-traditional background. I was homeschooled 1st or 8th grade. And so like we had a ton of time on my hand, ton of time on our hands. I live in the countryside, so like we just read a ton of books. And I gained like a love for learning.
That's awesome. So after 8th grade, did you go to like a public school?
I went to public school, and it was like a shock. So
I can imagine.
So when I was a little kid, I was born with a speech impediment, which was like very very tough, but like it made me very tough as well. And so like when I went to high school in 9th grade, I was I'd been homeschooled, so I was like socially awkward and had a speech impediment, and went there and had like 2 friends, so it was like it was very tough at first, but made me who I am today. Built some character, and it was super fun eventually.
How was that? The high school like shock was just like the cultural shock, right?
The culture shock was.
You're just like, what? This is how people kids act.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Well, if you're 31, you graduated when in 20?
I graduated high school in 2012.
Okay, I was gonna say 2012. I graduated in 2015. I'm nice. 28, so not too far. So you've been in Austin how long?
4 years now.
4 years. Okay, nice. So it'll be 5 this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So with that being said, with you guys being in Austin, How is like the community involvement here?
Oh, so the community involvement is amazing. Everyone, really is really nice and respectful. And one thing about us is like community involvement is huge for us. So we are going to do the house in East Austin for this old blind lady named Mrs. Freeman. So the old owner is actually his idea, not mine. He saw about her in the paper, and she's, this older blind woman who needs a new roof and can't afford it.
He saw her in the newspaper?
Yeah, he saw like an article about her in the newspaper.
Really?
And so like we're going to work with some people, and like we're going to build her a new roof. And so that's going to be super fun for us.
Like at no cost? Or
it's me and the old owner are going to chip in, and it's going to come out of our pocket.
Wow, that is so sweet.
Yeah. So we love giving back to the community, and we're very, very excited to do Mrs. Freeman's roof. And then, we're a huge, since we've been in Austin for the last 20 years, we're super into like community involvement. And so different roofing companies, every roofing company has a marketing budget. You spend stuff, on meta ads, and like all these different kinds of ads. But like with us, our biggest marketing expense is just our referral program. And so my first initiative when I took over this company is I started this thing called Austin Neighbor Rewards, where essentially we pay our past customers for referrals.
Okay,
so
nice.
In the past, most of our work had come from referrals, but now I'm like, all right, like you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
So we started this new program. So we pay $50 for every referral, regardless of what happens. And then if that results in a full roof replacement, we pay them an additional $250.
Oh, amazing.
And so and then I made like a fun game with levels, and we'll see how it works. But
that is a really good one.
But we love giving back to the community, very involved. But kind of to piggyback off that, like we've had this amazing partnership with ABC Home and Commercial.
Okay, I have heard of them.
Yeah, and so like we're their exclusive roofer, so they send us, like 100% of their leads.
Nice.
And they're very, very involved in the community as well.
That's a really big company to have a partnership with.
Yeah, they're awesome. And so the owner, Bobby Jenkins, I took him to lunch last month, and he was just super nice, gave me so much great advice. But he's very, very involved in the community as well, and kind of like that was his biggest piece of advice to me, like continue to be involved in the local Austin community. Yeah. And so that's been a huge thing for us. In the roofing industry, like I talked about the tier 1 roofers, like Driftwood Builders, and I also talked about the truck and the truck. Recently in the roofing industry, a lot of roofing companies have sold out to private equity. And so the old owner, Todd, would never sell to private equity. That's not who he is. But a lot of other roofing companies sold to private equity, and there's a lot of good people who work in private equity, but like at the end of the day, they're about their return on investment. Yeah. And so they don't really, they're not going to give back to the community, like we can. And so, that's a big strength of ours, that we're going to be here for the next 20 years. And so, we really try and do everything we can to give back to the community and be heavily involved, Yeah, and it's awesome. Like, we like doing it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's so important, too. It's just, like, good to get out there and help other people. With Miss Freeman, I had a question. So I wanted to know how you guys saw her in the newspaper, and then how did y'all find her? Y'all just, like, went and to her house, or like?
Oh yeah, great question. So the Austin Statesman had an article about how Miss Freeman needed a new roof, and I don't get the newspaper because I'm 31 years old, but the old owner Todd does get the newspaper. Yeah. And so he saw it and took a picture and emailed me and was like, we should try and help her out. And I was like, that's a great idea. Yeah. And so I emailed them and called them, and then I messaged her on like Twitter, and then I finally was able to get a hold of the Statesman. And then they connected us with the charity, the Season for Caring. And so we're going to work with them, and we're going to work with CNS Design Build, and they're going to redo her whole house.
Wow, that is so amazing.
Very, very good with it. They're much, much bigger than we are, but they've been awesome. And so we're going to partner with them, to redo Miss Freeman's roof in her house.
That is so cool. I love that. I love how you guys awesome. Just like how Todd was just reading the newspaper, because a lot of us don't anymore. We just get our news off like the social media and all those things.
So back to what you were saying about like how with a change in like ownership, how like the old style and like the new style. Well, it's funny because Todd would read the newspaper for like years and seeing that, and like every year tried to get a hold of them but couldn't. And like I don't read the newspaper, so like I never would have saw it. And so he saw it, gave me the idea, and then I emailed, then called them, and couldn't get a response. And then I found the writer on Twitter, and like I commented on her tweet, and then like 5 minutes later, she sent me like an email.
Wow,
yeah,
that
so
is
I think
so
just
cool.
using Twitter. But I think that's a good, success story of like the old ownership and the new ownership combines to like make this happen.
Yeah,
like,
the perfect merge.
Yeah, if it was just me, like we wouldn't have done it. If it was just them, like they wouldn't have done it. But like,
the two combined.
Yeah, the success story of old and new combined.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. So looking ahead, what do you see is next for Driftwood Builders Roofing?
Yeah, so I think we're going to continue to be very involved in the community, continue to give back, and continue to grow and have fun. I just bought this business on a 10-year SBA loan. I love Austin; it's home for me for the foreseeable future. But I'm very, very excited. To keep growing, keep getting involved in the community, keep giving back. I'm starting to reach out to other local businesses, other owners. Trying out a lot of different things. But just keep growing and keep being involved and keep giving back.
I love that. That's perfect.
And obviously more technology and social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, and hopefully someone that can help you manage those things.
Definitely.
Is there anything that you want to talk about before we finish up or wrap up that you feel like people should know, or just anything like that?
I guess like the thing that's like people should know is like we talked about like like the different types of roofers, and like not trying to be too salesy, I guess, but like the reason why like the tier 1 roofers are so important is because like your house is such a big investment, and obviously the roof protects your house, and like a lot of times like you do a new roof, and then and 4 years later, like you want to call your roofing company and like have a question. Well, like the truck, they won't be around to answer your question, since they go around straight storms. And then back to what I was saying about they're good people, but their private equity business model is to buy a business and then grow it for 5 years and then sell it. And so
and then things change, right?
Private equity. If you go with another roofing company who's owned by private equity, like there's a very good chance, that like they will have sold to someone else, and then they won't be able to help you with your roof. And then like a great thing about us is we're able to do the right thing, and it's best for us long term. So in roofing, there's kind of 3 main services. One is like free inspections, which we lose money on, but like we're obviously like happy to do. The second is like roofing repairs, which like we really don't make any money on either, but we do that for customers. And then the third is full roof replacements, which obviously that's where we make money. And so like there's a lot of situations where like a customer has a problem with the roof, and we go out and it's like they only need a repair, but we'd make a lot more money if we sold the full roof replacement. So it's kind of like an ethical dilemma. And so in that situation, like we do the right thing and we just sell them the repair. And like not only is that great to do the right thing, but since we're going to be in Austin for the next 20 years, like they do that repair, and then in 7 years from now, when they do need a new roof, like they can come to us, and then we'll do that full roof for them. So having a long-term focus, allows us to do the right thing, and grow a good business that is good for customers. But like these truck and the trucks are like private equity firms, like since they aren't going to be around for a long time, like when they get that like sort of repair versus replacement, like they always try and push the replacement, even if they don't need it. So it's like
that's good to know though, because I mean some people just want to get it done and they're like, I don't care who, and then a couple years later they're like, hey, where are you at? If homeowners could take away like one piece of advice, I guess I would say it would be that then, right? Do you have anyone, last question, I think this is a good one. What piece of advice would you give to someone starting a business themselves?
Oh, someone starting a business?
Yeah.
I give a couple of one is be ready to grind.
Yeah.
Be ready to work. It's a ton of fun. It's definitely not easy. The second is, find good people. Find good people to work with and that you enjoy working with. And then the third is, treat your customers right, because like at the end of the day, so without their customers, a business is nothing. So treat your customers right.
And those referrals.
That's
how you get them.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me re-ask this question real quick, because I feel like I kind of asked it wrong, but you still had really great answers. What piece of advice would you give to someone that did exactly what you did, that would go out and Can you remind me what it's called again real quick
it's called
buy a business?
Entrepreneurship through acquisition.
Entrepreneurship through acquisition?
Yeah.
Okay, so for someone that was going to do entrepreneurship through acquisition, what piece of advice do you have for them?
I'd also say be ready to grind. It's very, very, very difficult. Like with this company, the owner had 12 full price offers, and I was very fortunate that he picked me to carry on his legacy. But I'd say like be ready to grind. Come to our happy hour.
Yeah.
And you can always email me or send me a DM on LinkedIn or Instagram, whatever, and I'm more than happy to help you out and email you a bunch of resources so that you can save a couple months of time.
Yeah, nice. Real quick, why did he ever tell you like why he picked you out of the 12?
No, I never did. Yeah.
Really? That's really amazing.
Have him on and get it out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not trying to talk about myself. My kind of fun fact is that back, I used to weigh 310 pounds because I played football in college. And then, now I'm super into health and fitness. But,
okay, I love that. Let's talk about that real quick before we go. So you said you were 310 pounds?
Yeah, so my fun fact is that growing up, I was always chunky. And then I played football in probably on like the offensive line. So like the bigger you are, the better you do.
Wait, when did you start football?
In freshman year of high school.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So that was like a year of change for you. Wow, okay.
Yeah, but eventually I played in high school and then played in college for 2 years at a very small school. I was 310 pounds at once. I ate so much food that everyone on the team called me Num Nums.
Wow, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you ate a lot just because you were like home and like homeschooled? You didn't have like anything else to do?
Yeah, I was bored. I had a boredom, and I grew up next to my Italian grandmother who's very like,
oh my gosh, that would be like my dream because I love Italian food. Pasta, I could eat it all the time.
It's awesome. She taught me to cook, so that's awesome. But so I also 100 pounds, and I'm super passionate about health and fitness.
How did you lose the weight? Like, was it just natural? Like,
so I did a bunch of research, read a bunch of books, and I kind of just came to the conclusion that the best way is to like add new habits. So I actually wrote my own book on how to do this, like a self-help weight loss.
You have a book?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, there's like all these things that we could talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what is the book called?
It's called Eat More. Which just sounds counterintuitive, obviously, but it's just about how like the key to losing weight is like to find healthy habits. And healthy food you enjoy and like add it into your lifestyle, and then once you add in the new, then the bad subtracts. So when I was like 300 pounds, I'd eat like ice cream like every single day, and I was like, I'm just gonna stop eating ice cream, and I just like failed miserably doing that. And then I found this really great recipe for this healthy, a blueberry, a protein shake that was 1/5 the calories, and then I like added that to my diet, and then once I added that, I stopped craving the ice cream.
Wow.
And so the key, when people think weight loss is about a subtraction, like eating less, starving yourselves, which never ever ends well because statistically speaking, 97% of diets result in weight gain. But so essentially the secret to weight loss I found is like adding, finding healthy foods you enjoy and adding them to your diet, and then you stop craving the bad foods. And like foods you enjoy and workouts you enjoy, like that's huge because like most people like starve themselves or like eat gross food.
They think it's
and then it doesn't last. But if you find like one workout activity you like maybe it's just playing volleyball, like maybe it's going for a walk, or like there's thousands of healthy recipes out there. Like if you find one that you like and just keep eating it over and over, then
that consistency will come.
Like it was back to what you were saying about like business and before and how they try and sell you more. So like back to what you said, like in business, like recurring revenue is like huge, and so like obviously if you can sell something like a monthly like membership, that's really good for your business. And so like when I delved into like the weight loss industry, like what I found is like if a company were to give you a solution where you lose weight and then they solve your problem, then like it's a one-time thing and like they never see you again. Right? But businesses want recurring revenue, and so like what these companies do is they just like their main goal is to make money. Because the weight loss companies will just sell you these recurring memberships, like get on this meal plan. It's like recurring, but like the actual truth is like you don't need to do that.
It's like Planet Fitness. Have you ever heard that every Wednesday I think they have like pizza for their gym, like their gym members? I had a cousin. She had a Planet Fitness membership, and she was like, "It's pizza day today," and I was like, "What? Like, why? Why are they giving out pizza?" But I understand why they're doing it. It's just not great.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. That's interesting that you have that book. And And so how was that writing that book? I assume it was before the ChatGPT days.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So you actually have the experience of writing like a full-on book.
So it's a super small book, but it's just more of like a passion project. But yeah, I was actually transitioning from KPMG to Deloitte and had a month off, so I just used that time.
You wrote a book in a month?
Yeah, it's like a super small book.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go look for it.
It's not a big deal.
I'm gonna have to link it in this video. But yeah, that's really cool. And so it's still for sale there on Amazon?
I think so, yeah. I have to double check. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, yeah, so besides the adding, what was football like what got you into doing like workouts and things like that?
Yeah, it's definitely. So it's actually crazy. So I think like a huge thing of habits is like habits you enjoy. So it's fun, like when I played college football, I hated working out, and it's because like we had to work out 3 days a week, but it was like you have to be there at XYZ time and you have to do XYZ workouts, and so I just hated that. Yeah. And now I work out 7 days a week and I love it, and it's like because like I can pick like when I want to work out and like and do like the workouts that I enjoy. Yeah. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I also chose my corporate America to like entrepreneurship. Like there was days at Deloitte when like I only had to work 3 hours, but it's like someone telling me to do this, I'm not really passionate about it. Yeah. Whereas like now it's like at least 12 hours, but like,
you have the passion
I have
for
the
it.
Control, and the passion. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you would have never been able to tell you were 110 pounds. That's crazy. Yeah. Actually, I have a similar story, kind of. But I was also 165 pounds, which is not like a lot. But for me, I'm like 5 feet, so it was a lot for me. I was like obese. But I have 2 kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How old are they?
So I have an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Damn, that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. So I was. Anyways, I had them. I gained a lot of weight, and finally, it was during COVID. Someone took a picture of me, and I was just like, wow, I look horrible. I need to get back into shape. Because I grew up.
There's always that moment,
because I grew up complete opposite, like public school, and I was in sports and all the things. But I think just motherhood and stress and all those, you just start to cope with eating.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I was doing that. But I did start eating a lot healthier, but I took away from my diet. And I was just calorie counting, and it was kind of miserable, but I did it, and I lost the weight. I lost weight that way. But now, I've fallen in love with just like health and fitness, workouts, and eating clean.
Damn, that's awesome.
I'm actually right now doing, it's called a Daniel fast. Have you heard of that?
No, never. Tell me about it.
So it's actually this fast that's in the Bible.
Okay.
A guy named Daniel, he has he needs to go on a fast for clarity from the Lord or whatever. Yeah. And so he just eats like fruits, veggies, like no meat, stuff like that. And so I'm doing that right now, and it just feels so good. Like my body feels good just eating. I'm still getting my protein in and stuff like that. I'm using like chickpea protein powder.
Yeah, so you look great, by the way.
Thank you. So yeah, so it's been just really really nice because it does bring like that. I'm like, I feel good, I feel refreshed, and just eating clean. And I'm like, I should probably keep this lifestyle forever, but I'll add meats in later.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But yeah,
it's
so...
like Deion Sanders says, feel good, look good, look good, feel good, play good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
I just butcher that, but you get,
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you have any more fun facts about yourself?
Second oldest of 6 kids. My best friend that I met freshman year in high school, he's the one who still lives in Austin, So he has a beautiful wife and 2 kids. But it's funny, like our paths, like we both ended up living in the same place.
Yeah, that's
best
crazy.
Friends since freshman year of high school.
Wow, that's so cool. So he's seen you through the transition.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. He still has all my old pictures. They're so funny.
He calls you Num Num Stiller. Well, that's too funny.
Yeah. Well, what's been your favorite thing about being a mother?
I would say probably just having like 2 kids to depend on you and just love on you for no reason. Like even when I'm angry or not angry. Well, yeah, like sometimes we have our days where the days are long, and I'm like, just everyone be quiet, and they're still like, they're still like, I love you, Mom, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's been a journey, but it's fun.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm curious, since you're local, like Austinite, like what do you think about like the changes to Austin over the last 6 years?
That's a good question for me. I love it, honestly. Yeah. I know a lot of people that have like kind of moved more toward the outskirts, and they kind of like don't really care to be here in Austin anymore, but I always tell people, I'm like, there's just so much to do as a single person, as a mother, like whatever lifestyle you live, if you're married, if you don't have kids, there's things to do all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't get bored, and you don't have to spend a lot of money either. Like we have Silver Park, and we have all the places that you can just go outdoors. So it's great. And if you do have the money to spend, there's so many good like eatery. I love to eat, so like I still love to eat. So there's just so many good restaurants and festivals and stuff like that. So I love it.
Yeah, it was funny. So like in the Flat Valley, Montana, like where I grew up, like since the 2000s, like a lot of people will move there to build like a second house, like a vacation house. And so like a lot of them, are from California, and like a lot of the Montanans like really don't like that. And so so it's funny. Like I lived in San Diego for 4 years, thought it was awesome. And then when I first moved to Austin, I still had like my California driver's license. And so it's funny, like people were like not receptive to that. And so I had to be like, no, like I'm from Montana. Yeah. I remember like two stories specifically. Is like one is I was at a Deloitte happy hour. And we were like playing golf at Butler Pitch and Putt. And there's a group of people, like coworkers, and like I brought up, I just moved from California, but I'm from Montana. And this guy was like almost like to yell at me, and was like freaking out. He's like, why? People like you moving in, driving up the prices.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's another instance where we were paddle boarding, and I went to Texas Rowing Center, and like I rented the paddle board for a day, and you had to give them like your driver's license. And at that time I still had my like California driver's license, and so there was like this nicest, like sweetest, like innocent, most looking girl from Austin, and she was like so nice. I was smiling at her, and she asked me for my driver's license, and I gave it to her, and she saw California, and her face was like, no.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I'm from Montana. So for like a year, people were like, oh, like, where'd you move from? And I'm like, I'm from Montana. You're
like, I'm not gonna say California. That's so funny. Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of that where people are like, Californians coming in. But I mean, it's fine. I mean, what can you do?
What would you say are like your top 3 restaurants in Austin?
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, I just went to this place recently. It's Italian. It's called Sammy's Italian Restaurant.
I've heard great things about it.
Oh, it was so good. I think I put that at the top of my list. That one was really good. And then I like, I'm not really a pizza person, but recently I also went to All Day Pizza.
Okay. How was that?
That one was really good. They have like a pickle pizza.
Oh, damn.
It was really good. So that was probably my second. And then my third place, I don't know.
Have you had Craigos Pizza?
I have.
Oh,
I have.
Craigos Pizza is really good. I think that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, you got to try this All Day Pizza. It's really good. I don't know what I would put as my third. Those are just the top 2 that I keep thinking of. But
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I like to eat really healthy, so I like kava and stuff like that. But it's not like it's like an Austin. It's
like a brand. Like
exactly. It's not like a local restaurant. So yeah. Oh, you know what? Patrizi's is also Italian. Oh, yeah. That one is really good. I'll probably put my third. You've been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really good. But All right. Well, I mean, it's been amazing having you. I guess we'll wrap it up here, right? It seems like a good one. All right, Nick. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the Premium Perspective.
Thank you guys so much for having me. If you have any questions on your roof, please give me a call.
Yeah, Nick Riley, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
All right.